next song will be Heal the World. If you know the chorus, you can sing with us.
I know that it is love in this place. chip, chip. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us.
say that you are not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far away, I am here to stay. But you are not alone. I am here with you. Though we're far apart, you're always in my heart. But you are not alone. Whisper 3 words that I am. And girl, you know that I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far away, I am here to stay. But you are not alone. I am here with you. Though we're far apart, you're always in my heart. But you are not alone. You're not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far away, you are here. You are always in my Everyone, I hope everyone are ready to get this event. Global Actions on Myanmar Spring Revolution today. Hello Sydney, are you ready? Are you ready? Thank you very much for who attended for this event today. Could you please come a little bit closer at the front? And we want to get together in one spot and somebody can sit down. I would like to request for Generation X, older adult can sit at the back if they want to, and give them priority to sit. And a young adult, Generation Z, please come forward, and we will start our program right now. Thank you. Okay, we start with Kabamaje song by James Youth and Sydney Revolutionists. Are you ready to sing along together? Are you ready to sing? Let's start. Thank you.
Okay, the announcement of James Youth and Sydney Siders and the Revolutionists. Are you guys the revolutionists we're talking about? Yeah! Right? You ready to sing with me? Yeah! Let's just warm up. W-N-E-L-R! Yeah! W-N-E-L-R! Yeah! W-N-E-L-R! Yeah! All right, let's start. Thank you. General! 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 Thank you very much.
What do we want? A little bit louder. What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? I would like to introduce myself. My name is Min. My ethnic name is Bonyopre. I'm from Northern Shan State, Lashio Township. I live in Australia, Sydney as my second home. I am proud of being Australian citizen as well as Burmese. You can call me as Bomb. It's not B-O-M-B, B-A-W-M. Just be careful. Before I begin the global spring revolution protest, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respect to the eldest person present. I extend my respect to the Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander who are present today. I also want to appreciate federal police force because we are protected by police during our several protests since February. So we can participate safely in our protest. Please give applause to Australia Federal Police. The reason to come here to participate to fight back the terrorist Myanmar military coup. First of all, I would like to thank you to organizer of CRPH NUG Support New South Wales, and who is actively involved and support as dedicated team of this project. I give my respect and honor to all dedicated Sydney Myanmar communities who participate in this global Myanmar Spring Revolution protest because we are all sacrificing our private time over the weekend since February to fight for the justice and freedom for Myanmar. I'm glad to see Generation X, Y, Z here today. Generation Z, you are not alone. We are all supporting to fight for the justice and to get rid of terrorist military coup. We are gathered here today as it is very important day as from here we like to demand the world leaders attending G7 summit that Myanmar cause is a global cause. International community needs to acknowledge and support the National Unity Government NUG that has been elected by the community representative Bidao Su Ludo CRPH. We demand international organization to help to stop the Burmese military torture and killing of detained leaders and civilians. We demand international community to designate the Myanmar military as a terrorist organization and to cut any diplomatic ties with it. Let's shout out loudly together. Are you ready, Sydney? Yes! Heard one person and all of us will fight back. Heard one person and all of us will fight back. တရားထီရင်အကုန်ကြွမြန်မာပြည်သားกว่า Could you please repeat after me တရားထီရင်အကုန်ကြွမြန်မာပြည်သားกว่า Heard one person and all of us will fight back တရားထီရင်အကုန်ကြွမြန်မာပြည်သားกว่า Now I would like to invite Golden Gogo, one of the 88 generation revolutionists, to pay tribute to all the fallen heroes. Victims of the atrocities inflicted by Myanmar military and now internally displaced people due to many of military war crimes and human rights violations. Please welcome Golden Gogo to give 1 minute silent salute to pay tribute to all fallen heroes during the revolution.
မင်္ဂလာပါခင်ဗျာမင်္ဂလာပါ ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီခန္ဓာကိုကျွန်တော်အလေးပြုခြင်းတော့ရတယ်ပဲစောပါမယ်ဒါကျွန်တော်တို့ပုံမှန်လုံးနေကြတိုင်းမှာเนาะဆိုတော့ပထမဦးဆုံးကကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနိုင်ငံလုံးဆိုင်ရာအမျိုးသားညီညွတ်ရေးပြည်ထောင်စုအလံတော်ကအလေးပြုမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်နောက်တစ်ခုကရဆုံးလီပြီးတော့ဗိုလ်ချုပ်အောင်ဆန်းတဲ့ကွာအာဇာနည်ခေါင်းဆောင်ကြီးများကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ဥညော်လေးပြုမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်နော်နောက်တစ်ခုကကျောင်းဆောက်သွားခဲ့သောဒီမိုကရေစီတိုက်ပွဲဆက်ဆဲတဲ့ကျောင်းဆောက်သွားခဲ့သောတိုင်းရင်းသားရဟန်းရှင်လူကျောင်းသားပြည်သူပေါင်းအားကျွန်တော်တို့လေးပြုမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်နောက်ဆုံးတစ်ခုကတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့တမီနဲ့မြိတ်သက်စွာဂုဏ်ပြုလေးပြုမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကျေးဇူးပြုပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ ਨੇ ပူပေါင်းပါဝင်ပေးကြပါလို့မေတ္တာရပ်ခံပါတယ်နောက်တစ်ခုကျွန်တော်မေတ္တာရပ်ခံချင်တာကျွန်တော်တို့မှာအခုကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီအခမ်းအနားရဲ့ slogan ကျွန်တော်တို့ print out လုပ်တဲ့အခါမှာကျွန်တော်တို့နည်းနည်းအခက်အခဲလေးရှိတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အမှားယွင်းလေးရှိခဲ့တယ်ဒီ slogan ကိုရထားတဲ့လူတွေကနေပြီးတော့တပ်ပုတ်ရပြီးတော့မျှဝေပေးကြပါလို့ဒါကျွန်တော်အနုညောင်းတောင်းပန်ပါတယ်ဒါကျွန်တော် organizing committee ကိုစား Thank you ကျွန်တော်အလေးပြုခြင်းတော့ရကျွန်တော်စောပါမယ်ခင်ဗျာ Thank you Are we ready?မြန်မာနိုင်ငံလုံးဆိုင်ရာအမျိုးသားညီညွတ်ရေးဆိုရဒီထောင်စုအလံတော်လိုက်တူจะส่งเลยดีต่อผู้ชมเอาซะเลยว่าอาซานีก้าวลงนี่มาเลยดูเลยเนี่ยดิโมคราซีတိုက်ပွဲဆက်စစ်တွေจะส่งတော့ခဲ့ကြတော့တိုင်းရင်းသားရဟန်းရှင်လူចောင်းသားပြည်သူပေါင်းအားလိုက်တူဒီမိုကရေစီတိုက်ပွဲဆက်ဆက်ပဲကြာဆုံးသွားခဲ့ကြတော့တိုင်းရင်းသားရဟန်းရှင်လူចောင်းသားပြည်သူပေါင်းအားဂုဏ်ပြုသူအဖြစ်ဒီမီနာကြိုင်Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kotingoku. Now, according to the program 5, I am going to introduce a brief background of Solmeng U. Solmeng U, he was a student activist in 100th anniversary of King Godolphin student uprising and expelled from the final years of university. Since then, he worked some underground movement, and because of many interrogating by Myanmar intelligence, then left Burma on 1981. Then stayed in Singapore for 7 years. Then he arrived in Australia February 1987. In 1988, student uprising a group in Burmese activists formed Committee for Democracy in Burma, CDB, on 12 of August 1988 in Sydney. He was one of founder. He worked as assistant secretary for 3 years long as a need of international level of coordination with ethnic armed organization, Democratic Allies of Myanmar (DAB), National Coalition Government of Union of Burma, NCGUB. Then he and Dr. Tin Wei and U Kin Aung formed Committee for Restorations of Democracy in Burma, CRDB, in 1991. After the Manipur KNU headquarters fell into Myanmar military in 1995 with the help of Karen Speedy group called DKPA. Then Solway U and a group of Karen leaders formed Australia Karen Organization, also known as AKO, in 1996. Solway U was a founder and served as a general secretary, vice national president and national president as for various positions. As presently, he is national president of AKO. AKO operates 5 states and on territory. As present, Solway U is one of state coordinator in CRPH, NUG support group in New South Wales, and also in a member of the National Committee member of CRPH, NUG support group Australia. Thank you. I would like to welcome Uncle Solway U to release the statement of CRPH and NUG New South Wales.
Thank you, Myanmar, for the very good introduction. Especially I'm from the Myanmar 100th anniversary of the Kengoro Myanmar uprising in Burma. It was 1975. I was also part of the 1974 Uta Yekin. Thank you so much. This is a statement I have to read out to you. The International Relations Office of the Committee representing Bidangsu Ludo CRPH strongly condemns the global action which coincides with the 47th G7 summit scheduled for the June 11 to 13, 2021 in United Kingdom. As mandated Myanmar free and fair election in November 2020, we, the member of the committee representing Bidangsu Ludo, have formed the National Unity Government (NUG). After close consultation with the ethnic armed organization and political parties, civil society groups and civil disobedient movement (CDM), the NUG is the most inclusive and diverse cabinet in the history of the Myanmar, with 9 women and 12 ethnic leaders in key positions. As we continue to build a strength and relation with all the democratic forces in the country and around the world, the Burmese diaspora play a pivotal role in the struggle of the end of the military dictatorship, release all political detainees, restore democracy, build a genuine federal union and public government. Together with the Burmese community, we have established CRPH and NUG support group in many countries. We are grateful to those support group and all the other for their generous contribution and dedication to our cause. This is a true example of the global action. Over the past 4 months, a legitimate military junta has systematically dismantled the country's systematic institutions, murders peaceful protesters, and demolished press freedom and individual liberties, and sought to detain anyone publicly voicing opposition to its rule by the violence, while people from all walks of life and from all of our diverse religious and ethnic groups have come together to resist these brutal onslaughts. The Damaro has turned to his war machine directly on the people, having slaughtered nearly 900 civilians so far. Some members of the international community, including G7, have come together to condemn the action of this genocidal army and its collaborators. We condemn and we welcome and appreciate all those who have taken action against the military junta, but the general have intensified their suppression on our democracy movement. On this occasion of Global Action Week, we ask G7 and other countries to take the following action. Make targeted sanctions, including arms embargo in all financial transactions, directly or indirectly benefiting to the military. Either referral to our pro moto investigation by the International Criminal Court (ICC) concerning all the crime listed in the Rome Statute that have come to the committed by the military. Massive emergency humanitarian aid for the millions of people facing in hunger and poverty in the country because of their intelligent junta and illegitimate junta. Support for the people fight against the military dictatorship through all means possible. The Australian government issued a statement on the 7th March 2021 regarding the current crisis in Myanmar. The statement mentioned that Australian development program is being redirected to the immediate humanitarian need for the most vulnerable, and hence the priority will be given to the most pressing and emerging humanitarian needs. It was also announced that the humanitarian aid will be provided through the non-government organization, not with the government or government-related entities, as it's currently the case in some part of the program. On the 25th April 2021, following the ASEAN leaders meeting, the Australian government announced that they will support the ASEAN leaders' 5-point solution and will provide Australian $5 million to the ASEAN Coordinating Center for Humanitarian Assistance on Disaster Management, AHA, and as a center, and the humanitarian aid for Myanmar. In accordance with their procedure, the ASEAN AHA Center only deal with the focal ministry of the member of the country, which is the Ministry of the Social Welfare and Relief and Resettlement, MOSWRR, in Myanmar. Since MOSWRR is under the military regime, the AHA Center will have to work with the Myanmar military regime. It is instead contract to the Australian government's earlier official statement on the 7th March 2021 that humanitarian assistance will only be provided to the non-governmental organization. The junta's MOSWRR cannot be entrusted with the task of delivering aid to the people of Myanmar who genuinely need humanitarian assistance. Recent incidents in Myanmar, such as Mindat, Kambalet and Loiko in the Timor in the state of the Chain and Kaya involved a capture of the activists without the warrants and detention of the humanitarian aid workers in this area by the junta. In addition to the confiscation of the relief supply, and junta is now monitoring the flow of the good access to the country, and it's prohibiting the flow of the humanitarian aid into Myanmar. Furthermore, this illegal junta is the main cause of the humanitarian crisis in Myanmar. CRPH/NUG Support Group Australia and its member call for the Australian government $5 million humanitarian assistance to the provided via a third party, an independent non-government organization, for example, the ICRC. We are also aware that National Unity Government of Myanmar has already proposed this to the ASEAN. We, CRPH/NUG Support Group Australia, will deliver this statement to the Senator Maurice Payne, Minister for Foreign Affairs and official from her ministry, Senator Penny Wong, Shadow Minister for the Foreign Affairs, Parliamentary Friends of Myanmar, led by the Senator Dean Smith, and the co-chair, Mr. Khaled Mr. Khalil in MP, in the opposition leader, in Solidarity International Relations Office, Committee representing Piranzu Ludo, CRPH. Thank you so much.
Thank you, AKO President Solveu. Are you ready to support CRPH and NUG? Yes. Because I do recommend to support CRPH and NUG government because ASEAN is not facilitating to end Myanmar crisis. ASEAN is facilitating the terrorist Myanmar military group. Terrorist Myanmar military group has been killed innocent civilian more than 800 people and arrested more than 4,000 innocent people who participated in the protest. We have to build our country by ourselves because there is lack of support from UN and ASEAN. CRPH and NUG government is incredibly running our country in a short time frame. NUG government now has been set up for online education by CDM teacher and studying online education via social media. Banking system has been controlled. BDF has been reformed to build the federal army to protect all the civilians. Medical school has been running via online course to complete their higher education to support our country. We have seen NUG government international communication excellent because some countries already recognize NUG is a genuine government of Myanmar. We are already won this battle because ethnic armed group KIA, KNU, UNAA and others ethnic group are protecting innocent civilians and also CDM, PDF are professionally trained to support NUG government. Sydney, are you ready? Ready. Are you ready to support CRPH and NUG? Yes. Support CRPH and NUG? Yes. Thank you. Now, I would like to welcome Jessica Madik, author of Our Home in Myanmar, for encouraging for our Myanmar community and for our country. Welcome, Jessica Madik.
My name is Jessica Madik, and I've just published a book called Our Home in Myanmar, which is about the 4 years that I lived in Yangon. I moved to Yangon to work with the Myanmar Times, and that was when Sunny Sway, the co-founder, was in prison. And we had pre-publication censorship. There were so many things that we couldn't write about. We didn't have a daily license. And then in April 2013, Sunny Sway was released from prison. There were so many reforms made to the media, and it was such a time of optimism for Myanmar. And then in the lead up to the 2015 elections, I worked for the Global New Light of Myanmar because they wanted to change the newspaper to reflect the more democratic era. So they asked me to work there as their first foreign editor because they wanted the newspaper to become people-focused. So instead of all the propaganda, they wanted the paper to be a source of information. And so again, it felt like a great opportunity to contribute to Myanmar's democratic future. And as we all know, there was a lot of apprehension about the 2015 elections, but they were largely peaceful, and it was a beautiful day, and the results were respected. And to now have wound back the clock to the darkest days of Myanmar's history is absolutely heartbreaking. So I can see the anguish in all my friends' eyes. I see the terrible images on Facebook. I also see the silence on Facebook now because it's very difficult for people even to share content from Myanmar. So I think it's really important that we share content. We post things because we're not in the same danger that people in Myanmar are. So if we keep shining a light on their struggle and their suffering, hopefully one day the tide will turn. I just want to say it's very depressing and it's easy to get downhearted, and sometimes I get really downhearted about it. But when I come to events like this, I feel much more optimistic again because you see the strength and the belief that people have. I watched Australian Story the other night on ABC, And Julian Assange's lawyer, Jen Robertson, has been involved in some really difficult legal cases like Julian Assange and the struggles in West Papua. And the interviewer asked her how she keeps going despite the difficulty and the odds against the people that she stands up for. And she said one time she met Desmond Tutu, and he said to her that history is long, but justice will prevail. So I hope that's something that will be true for Myanmar as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. You are not only supporting our Myanmar, but also facilitating international community what is the genuine democracy is. Thank you. Now I would like to welcome Umamang A, who is a patron of JACDB, elected MP in 1990, former Minister of National Coalition Government of the Union of Burma, and CGUP. Please come forward and get Umamang A.
Hello, Minglava. Kamalobe, Pyogue Pua. JACDB Kosa, Sagabu Pyogue Pure, event organizer Alongo, Tube, Jesu Timare, JACDB Soda, Sydney Ma, Chesite, Longare, Nenasejo, Bicaneti, Diana, Apoesimia, Democracy, Apoesimia, two Ponsa Piro, Lolo Nide, Apoesi Pipare. Kane chano JACDB ye yati che tabora chano tima timpya kwin pyu ba parama song chet ka ro 2008 ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံအခြေခံဥပဒေနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပါတယ်ခဏအာဏာသိမ်းစစ်ကောင်စီက2008ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံကိုလိုရင်လိုသလိုထောက်တုံးနေတာတွေ့သလိုနိုင်ငံတကာနယ်ပယ်မှာလည်းတရုတ်နဲ့အာဆီယံကနေပြီးတော့မှ2008ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံအောက်ကတွဲဆောင်ဆွေးနွေးရေးဆိုတဲ့လမ်းကြောင်းကိုလမ်းကြောင်းနေတာတွေ့ရပါတယ်2008ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံဟာဖြစ်ပြီးဖြစ်ပါတယ် CRPH ကနေပြီးတော့မှ2008ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံကိုတရားဝင်ပယ်ဖျက်ပြီးဖြစ်ပါတယ်မြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာလုံးဝရှိတဲ့တိုင်းရင်းသားပြည်သူအားလုံးကလည်း2008ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံကိုလက်မခံပါဘူးဒါကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်တို့ JACDB အနေနဲ့လည်း2008ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံကိုလုံးဝလက်မခံကြောင်းပြောချင်တယ်နော်နံပါတ်2အချက်ကတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ NCA နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပါတယ် NCA ကတော့တနိုင်ငံလုံးအပြစ်ခတ်ရစရေးစာချုပ်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီ NCA အပြစ်ခတ်ရစရေးစာချုပ်အဖြစ်ခနဲ့လက်ရှိတိုင်းပြည်မှာသွားနေတဲ့ຫນွေဦးတော်လှန်ရေးနဲ့လုံးဝမအပ်ဆက်ပါဘူးဒီစစ်အုပ်စုကနေပြီးတော့မှအာဏာသိမ်းပြီးတဲ့နောက်ပိုင်းမှာ NCA လို့ခေါ်တဲ့တနိုင်ငံလုံးအပြစ်ခတ်ရစရေးစာချုပ်ဟာလည်းပြီးသွားပြီဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့် NCA လမ်းကြောင်းအဖြစ်ဘလို့မှအလုံးမဖြစ်နိုင်တဲ့အတွက်ကျွန်တော်တို့အနေနဲ့ပယ်ချပါတယ်နောက်တစ်ချက်ကကျွန်တော်တို့ CRPH နဲ့ NUGO ဘာကြောင့် support လုပ်တဲ့လေကနေဘာကြောင့်ဒီနေရာမှာလာရောက်ပြီးကျွန်တော်စုဝေးကြတယ်ဆိုတဲ့ကိစ္စဖြစ်ပါတယ် CRPH NUG 2020နိုဝင်ဘာရွေးကောက်ပွဲရနေတရားဝင်ရွေးကောက်ထားတဲ့ကိုယ်စားလှယ်များနဲ့ဖွဲ့စည်းထားတဲ့လွှတ်တော်နဲ့အစိုးရဖြစ်ပါတယ်တနည်းအားဖြင့် NUG ဟာဒီဂျူရီအစိုးရဖြစ်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့တွေဟာခနဲ့ NUG နဲ့နိုင်ငံတကာမှာထောက်ခံမှုရအောင်စ조사နေတဲ့ကာလဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့်ပြည်တွင်းမှာရှိတဲ့ပြည်သူလူအားလုံးနဲ့နိုင်ငံတကာရောက်မြန်မာများအနေနဲ့ CRPH နဲ့ NUG ကိုအများအားထောက်ခံနေဆိုတာအင်အားပြဖို့လိုပါတယ်ဒါဟာအင်မတန်အရေးကြီးတဲ့ချက်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်နောက်ချက်ကကျွန်တော်တို့စစ်ကောင်စီရဲ့အခြေအနေကိုကျွန်တော်အတင်းချုပ်တင်ပြချင်ပါတယ်ခနဲ့စစ်ကောင်စီဟာဖြစ်မြန်မာနိုင်ငံအတွင်းမှာအောက်ချုပ်ရေးရန်ရာကိုပိုင်နိုင်အောက်ချုပ်နိုင်တာလည်းမရှိသေးပါဘူးတနိုင်ငံလုံးကျွန်တော်တို့ရလက်နဲ့ကန်ဆွဲပြီးတော်လာနေတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အားလုံးပြည်သားဖြစ်တဲ့အတိုင်းပဲကျွန်တော်တို့ဟာလာပြည်နယ်ပြည်ပမကြံစန့်ကျင်မှုကိုခံနေရတဲ့စစ်အုပ်စုဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့်စစ်ကောင်စီအဖြစ်ခနဲ့အထိနိုင်ငံတကာရဲ့ထောက်ခံမှုလည်းမရရှိသေးပါဘူးအဲ့တော့စစ်ကောင်စီအနေနဲ့အခက်အခဲအကြအတဲအများကြီးရှိပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့မှစိတ်ဓာတ်မကြပဲကျွန်တော်တို့စိတ်အားတင်းပြီးဆက်ပြီးတော့မှသွားဖို့လိုပါတယ်နောက်တစ်ချက်ကကျွန်တော်တို့စိစညှိနှိုင်းရေးကိစ္စဖြစ်ပါတယ်စိစညှိနှိုင်းရေးနဲ့ပတ်သက်လို့ရှိရင်ခနဲ့ပြီးခဲ့တဲ့အာဆီယံအစည်းအဝေးမှာဖြစ်ဖြစ်တရုတ်နဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့အာဆီယံတွဲတဲ့အစည်းအဝေးမှာဖြစ်ဖြစ်2008ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံအောက်ကစိစညှိနှိုင်းရေးဆိုတာကိုလမ်းကြောင်းလာတာတွေ့ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့အနေနဲ့2008ဖွဲ့စည်းပုံအောက်ကစိစညှိနှိုင်းရေးလမ်းကြောင်းကိုလုံးဝလက်မခံနိုင်ပါဘူးအဲ့လိုပဲခနဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ NCA လမ်းကြောင်းအောက်ကစိစညှိနှိုင်းရေးဆိုတဲ့ကိစ္စကို လုံးဝကျွန်တော်တို့လက်မခံနိုင်ဘူးဆိုတာလည်းတင်ပြချင်ပါတယ်နောက်တစ်ချက်ကကျွန်တော်တို့နိုင်ငံတကာထောက်ခံမှုရရှိရေးဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့နိုင်ငံတကာထောက်ခံမှုရရှိရေးဟာစစ်ကောင်စီတဲ့ဆိုင်ရင် NUG ကအများကြီးအလားအလာကောင်းနေတာကိုအားလုံးအသိပဲကျွန်တော်တို့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့နိုင်ငံတကာထောက်ခံမှုလို့ပြောတဲ့အခါမှာအုပ်ချုပ်ရေးနယ်မြေရှိမှုနဲ့လည်းကျွန်တော်သက်ဆိုင်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ NUG ရဲ့ PDF ကျွန်တော်တို့ကာကွယ်ရေးတပ်ဖွဲ့တွေနယ်မြေသိမ်းလာနိုင်တဲ့တနေ့မှာကျွန်တော်တို့နိုင်ငံတကာအသိအမှတ်ပြုမှုဆိုတာလည်းကျွဲကူရေးမှာဖြစ်မယ်ဆိုတာကိုကျွန်တော်ပြောချင်တယ်ကျွန်တော်ညီကုန်းချုပ်အနေနဲ့လက်နက်ကိုင်တော်လှန်ရေးနဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ people power ပြည်သူရဲ့ဆွမ်းအားကိုကျွန်တော်ကျင်းချုပ်ပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ပြောချင်တယ်ခဏအချိန်မှာကျွန်တော်တို့စစ်ကောင်စီကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ညီကုန်းချုပ်နိုင်မှုအတွက် CDM ကဆက်ပြီးတော့ရှိဖို့လိုပါတယ်လမ်းပေါ်တိုက်ပွဲတွေလိုပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်နိုင်ငံတကာရောက်ပြည်သူတွေကလည်းမြန်မာနိုင်ငံသားတွေကလည်းခဏလိုပဲကျွန်တော်တို့ CRPH NUG နောက်မှာတခါနဲ့ရက်တီနေကြဖို့လိုပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့နောက်ဆုံးကတော့စစ်အာဏာရှင်ဟလာဒီစစ်ကောင်စီချုပ်သိမ်းဖို့ကတော့လက်နက်ကင်တိုက်ပွဲနဲ့ရဲ့အောင်ပွဲပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်လို့ကျွန်တော်ပြောချင်ပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့်ဒီကုန်းချုပ်အနေနဲ့ဟလာပြည်တွင်းပြည်မပါရှိတဲ့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံသားအားလုံးရဲ့စွမ်းအားသာလျင်စစ်ကောင်စီပြုတ်ကျရေးအတွက်အဓိကဖြစ်တယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့အနာဂတ် Federal Democracy ပြည်တော်စုအတွက်အဆုံးဖြတ်ဖြစ်ပါကြောင်းပြောကြားရင်းညီကုန်းချုပ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်
I would like to welcome our music teacher Deborah Team and Deborah Team and the team to sing We Are the World.
We want to declare to the world that we are the world, we are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start giving. Give with what you can. Let's all do it together. And sing with us. We are the world. When we sing in a chorus, join us please.
There comes a time when we hear a certain call, when the world must come together as one.
There are people dying, oh, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all.
We can go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change.
We are all a part of God's great big family.
thank you, professional gospel singer Deborah Shui. She has been actively involved since February. Thank you. I would like to announce one of the petition to sign. We need to sign petition to support our CRPH and NUG. And in the community, one of our team member from our community to help how to write petition, how to write email to our community parliament member is going to be announcing soon. I would like to advertise for tomorrow. Myanmar Professional Association Australia MPAA has been helping our community with templates for letter to local MP, locating addresses and contacts of local MP in the area you live, etc. And recently, MPAA have received responses from MP for the letters that they have sent to local MP over a month ago. So we believe Myanmar cause might has been a hot topic within Parliament. Now MPAA are doing this second campaign. Today they are kindly helping us with distribution of red forehead band, some of which are kindly donated by ABCD Network. Please see them if you have any questions or need any assistance in finding your local MP or for a template or follow-up letter to your local MP if you have already written one already. Now I would like to introduce a brief background of Dr. Nancy C. I would like to introduce dedicated Dr. Nancy C. She is a rural GP with special interest in forensic medicine. She's a forensic staff specialist at Southern New South Wales Local Health District and also an advisory committee member for prevention and response to violence abuse, community member for prevention and abuse and neglect service of New South Wales. She is also an advisory member of Medical Council of Murrumbidgee Area Health. She left from Myanmar as a second-year medical student at 88 Uprising. Even though she left from Myanmar, she always keeps in touch to support Myanmar to those who need support. Especially with her family support, she has found Myanmar Eye Care Project in 2001, which has operated on 250 patients in central Myanmar with eye diseases until today. She has been philanthropist for Myanmar, which is focused on education of poor students, orphanage and hospital. Since the coup of 1st of February this year, she has been actively carrying out the duties of dedicated citizen Myanmar, like any one of us to fight against Myanmar military dictatorship. I would like to welcome Dr. Nancy C. for a brief encouragement.
Thank you, Bo. I want to correct that it's 250,000 over the 20 years of 250,000 patients. Yeah. And thank you for giving me a chance to speak on the Global Action Day. This is an important day where many cities in the world show unity. We are uniting together here to fight against dictatorship. How can the world forgive the crime against humanity? Myanmar military has killed more than 800 people that we could count in the cities, raiding people's houses in the night, capturing young men of the country, getting the families to pick their dead bodies from the prison next morning. Many towns were recently attacked by military with machine gun raids and airstrikes. So-called human shields are used, which are hostages being the civilians. They even camp inside the school where young children are in the classroom to use them as human shields. Many people fled their homes in their towns. Saddest news that come out where the children were just dragged and picked up by anyone running to save them. Once they are in a safe place, their parents would swap their children. Does anyone think many might go missing too? How can Australia pretend to close a blind eye on what's happening in a country in its region? Many countries like US, UK, EU and strong Asian countries have condemned and implemented sanctions to Myanmar military junta and officials. Australia has not action on any of them. Earlier this year, Australia announced its development aid to Myanmar will now be diverted to much-needed humanitarian aid. They won't be sending them to the military, but again, Australian government changed their promise. They're going to send them to the military junta run by agencies via ASEAN. Is Australia supporting the murderers? We as Australians are shouting loud from here. Wake up, Australia. Please act as a democratic country. တကမ္ဘာလုံးကညီညွတ်စွာနဲ့စစ်အာဏာရှင်စနစ်စန့်ကျင်ဖို့ဆန္ဒပြမယ်ဒီလိုရေးကြီးတဲ့နေ့တစ်နေ့မှာကျမတို့ဒီနေရာကနေအသက်ပေးသွားတဲ့အာဇာနည်တွေကိုဂုဏ်ပြုပါတယ်စစ်အာဏာရှင်တွေကသခိုးလူဟစ်အပြစ်မရှိအပြစ်ရှာပြီးထောင်သွင်းကျင်းချထားတဲ့နိုင်ငံရေးအကျဉ်းသားများကိုလည်းလေးစားစွာနဲ့ဂုဏ်ပြုပါတယ်လူမှုခွင့်ရေးချိုးဖောက်နေတဲ့မြန်မာစစ်အာဏာရှင်များရဲ့ရက်စက်ရုံညံ့တဲ့အပြုအမူတွေကိုပြင်းထန်ရှုံချပါတယ်ဩစတြေးလျအစိုးရနဲ့သူ့ရဲ့အေးဆက်ဆက်တွေနဲ့အပြုအမူတွေနဲ့လက်လူသက်တရကအားပေးမှုအရေးအအောင်တွေကိုလည်းပြင်းထန်ရှုံချပါတယ်ရေတော်ပုံအောင်မချင်းစစ်ပြေးနေရတဲ့မြန်မာပြည်သူပြည်သားများကိုစားဆက်လက်တိုက်ပွဲဝင်ကြပါစို့ငြိမ်းချမ်းသာယာဝပြောတဲ့ကျမတို့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံကိုပြည်လဲထူထောင်ဖို့ဆက်လက်တိုက်ပွဲဝင်ကြပါစို့စစ်အာဏာရှင်စနစ်ကြဆုံးဖို့တကမ္ဘာလုံးကမောင်နှမတွေတိုက်ပွဲဝင်ကြပါစို့တယောက်ထိအကုန်ကြွမြန်မာပြည်သားက Wake up Australia ရေတော်ပုံအောင်ရမည် Thank you
Thank you, Dr. Nancy C. I would like to welcome Mr. Prin Chu Khan from Korea, President of Korea Culture Center.
Thank you. 안녕하세요. We are the representative of Korean Australian community in Sydney. Today, we are here to pass our solidarity message. The history tells us democratization is a long process. This demands not only our sweat or people's struggle, but sometimes it demands our blood on its altar table. We know Myanmar have a history of holding large-scale demonstrations against the military dictatorship in 1988. 33 years has been passed since the so-called 88 uprising. The strategy is repeating again in now 2021 in Myanmar. We feel very sorry about this. Korea also have a proud history of democratic citizen residents from the April Revolution 1960, Gwangju uprising in 1980, democratic movement in 1987, and the candlelight project in 2017, which we make the step down collected president. In particular, Gwangju uprising in 1980 significantly resembled the current reality of Myanmar today. That time, the military brutally suppressed the citizens who opposing the called emergency martial law. It caused countless thousand civilians casualties. That is what happened in Gwangju 1980 in Korea, and now what is happening in Myanmar 2021. That is why our heart for Myanmar is very special, and we cannot be more furious at the news of massacre coming out Myanmar's everyday newspaper. We Koreans in Australia, we never cross eye on Myanmar's military, who slaughtered their own citizens, and we therefore strongly urge the military government of Myanmar immediately stop its violence and killing. The military of government of Myanmar immediately release the detained government official and citizen and transfer power to the civilian government. And also, Australian government, current sanction against Myanmar is not good enough. Actively intervenes in the massacre and repression in Myanmar and take concrete measures to support the Myanmar citizens step forward democratization. And also, finally, the UN, Asian, and international community immediately intervenes in Myanmar to stop the massacre of civilians by the military force and empower the democratic citizens to achieve their own democracy. Thank you very much.
Kamsahamnida, Korea team of Australia. Now I would like to invite Yusana to sing Koa Pye Minge. I would like to introduce our band. Nue U Koko Band, please give them applause. Guitarist Raymond and Angel Batu, Go James, keyboard Go Tay Tai Ao, Go Ao, keyboard, and drum, Bryce. Yusana, please welcome. Yusana ကတော့ຫນွေဦးတော်လှန်ရေးမှာပြည်သူနဲ့အတူမချပဲတကြားကြီးရပ်တည်ခဲ့တဲ့နုပညာရှင်တူဦးဖြစ်တဲ့ဒေသန်ရှင် Yusana ရဲ့ဖြောပြမှုကိုကျမတို့ခန်းစားကြပါစို့ကျမတို့သူနဲ့အတူလိုက်ပြီးတော့ဆိုနိုင်ပါတယ်ဒီဆိုမဲ့တခြင်းကတော့ခွန်အားဖြည့်မိငယ်တေးတခြင်းပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်
စားနေရမယ်မိသားတွေသမီးတွေလက်တွေပြဘကုံးပေါ်တိုင်းတင်ထားတဲ့မိသားတွေနားတဲ့ချာနေရမလို့ပဲခက်ခဲရရှိစီကုန်တဲ့တော့သွားမယ်စိတ်ကိုထားရချင်ကိုဝိုင်းလို့ကြရင်ပိတ်ထားတဲ့ကားများကွင်မှာပါဒီလေးကောင်းမှတောင်းလုံးနားလို့ရမှာဟဲ့မတရားကိုရရင်ရတရားရင်ဆုံးပြီးသွားမှာပါတန်ဖိုးတွေရှိမှချစေကြောင်းလုံးမောင်းထုတ်သွားမှာပါနိုင်ရရင်ကရင်ကမယ်နိုင်ရရင်ပြေးရရဲ့ဒီမှာပိတ်ထားတဲ့နာတွေကအကုန်လုံးအော်ပြောမှကြပါပါအာနာရှင်မောင်းတော့ကြမယ်လို့ရှိဒီသူတွေကန့်ွက်ကြမယ်လို့ရှိတန်ဖိုးတွေတို့သူမိအနန္တရာတွေ့ရင်မို့လို့ဒီအာနာရှင်မောင်းတော့ကြမယ်လို့ရှိဒီသူတွေကန့်ွက်ကြမယ်လို့ရှိတန်ဖိုးတွေတို့သူမိတရားတွေ့ရင်မို့လို့ဒီဆန္ဒပေါ်တော့ကြမယ်အမရဘက်မှာငါတို့ရဲ့ဒီဆုံးထိသွားမှာပါတန်ဖိုးတွေရှိမှချစေပြောင်းလို့မောက်ထုတ်သွားမှာပါဟဲ့နိုင်ရရင်ကချင်ကနိုင်ရရင်ပြေးရရဲ့ဒီမှာပိတ်ထားတဲ့နာတွေကအကုန်လုံးအော်ပြောမှကြမှာပါအာနာရှင်မောင်းထုတ်ကြမယ်လို့ရှိဒီသူတွေကန့်ွက်ကြမယ်လို့ရှိတန်ဖိုးတွေတို့သူဒီမရတွေ့ရင်မို့လို့ဒီအာနာရှင်မောင်းထုတ်ကြမယ်လို့ရှိဒီသူတွေကန့်ွက်ကြမယ်လို့ရှိတန်ဖိုးတွေတို့သူဒီမရတွေ့ရင်မို့လို့ဒီဆန္ဒပေါ်တော့ကြမယ်မရဘက်မှာငါတို့ရဲ့ဒီဆန္ဒပေါ်တော့ကြမယ်မရဘက်မှာငါတို့ရဲ့ဒီဒီမိုကရေစီရရှိလေဟိုးယေဒီမိုကရေစီရရှိလေဟိုးယေအာနာရှင်စနစ်ကိုကျွန်တော်တို့လုံးဝအမြင့်ဖြောက်ပြရမယ်မတရားမှုတွေကိုလုံးဝစန့်ကျင်ရမယ်မတရားတဲ့အမိန့်အာဏာကိုလုံးဝဖီဆန်ရမယ်ငါတို့ရဲ့နိုင်ငံငါတို့ရဲ့နိုင်ငံသားငါတို့သားသမီးတွေရဲ့အနာဂတ်အတွက်စိုးညစ်တဲ့သူတွေလူယူထားတဲ့ဒီသူ့အာဏာကိုဒီနေ့ငါတို့ပြန်သိမ်းပိုင်းကြမယ်စီးလုံးမှာရဲရင်မှာပညာရှိပါကြံ့ခိုင်ပါဇွဲရှိပါDemocracy
ဆက်မှာနောက်ဆုံးတိုက်ပွဲဖြစ်ရမယ်ပြည်သူအာဏာပြည်သူစီပြန်ရတဲ့အထိတိုက်ရမယ်ဘရင်အောင်ဖောင်ဖြတ်တိုက်ပွဲပဲဖြစ်တယ်တို့ရဲ့နောက်မျိုးဆက်ကိုခွင့်တူညီများတရားမျှတပြီးတိုးတက်ဖွံ့ဖြိုးစီးပင်နဲ့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံတော်သစ်အမွေချမ်းသာရခဲ့မယ်ဒါကြောင့်စီးလုံးမှာရဲရင်ပါပညာရှိပါကြံ့ခိုင်ပါဇွဲရှိပါ
တက်သွားညာတို့တွေတောင်းခံရတဲ့ကံတွေကိုကြိုးစွနိုင်မှာMany